Jon Gruden's fall is a warning to the NFL. In that email, Gruden described NFL Players Association Executive Director DeMaurice Smith as Dumbra Smith, who possessed lips the size of Michelin tires, a reference that reinforces the racist trope of caricaturing the size of black people's lips. Gruden told the Journal he didn't remember writing the email but didn't dispute having done so. "I'm really sorry," he said. "I was upset. I used a horrible way of explaining it." On Friday, league spokesman Brian McCarthy said, "The email from Jon Gruden denigrating DeMaurice Smith is appalling, abhorrent and wholly contrary to the NFL's values. We condemn the statement and regret any harm that its publication may inflict on Mr. Smith or anyone else." Historically, white supremacist rhetoric, both during and after antebellum slavery, popularized racist caricatures of black people that exaggerated their lips, eyes, noses, and speech. Through cartoons, songs, and an assortment of vulgar cultural displays that became known as minstrelsy, whites denigrated black dignity in popular culture while simultaneously degrading black citizenship through public policies, national legislation, and court decisions that upheld a racially unjust order.
Smith responded to the controversy with refreshing candor. "This is not the first racist comment that I have heard, and it probably will not be the last," wrote Smith. "This is a thick-skinned job for someone with dark skin, just like it always has been for many people who look like me and work in corporate America," he continued. "Racism like this come from the fact that I'm at the same table as they are and they don't think someone who like me belongs." Smith vowed not to let such racist language define him. Smith's response to learning about Gruden's words is significant. He didn't describe himself as black but someone with dark skin, a choice of language that in my reading evokes the problem of colorism in corporate America and society at large. Negative stereotypes against dark-skinned blacks abound, including in Hollywood, where light-skinned actors are routinely cast, even when portraying historically dark-skinned figures. Smith's acknowledgement of overhearing past racist insults is also telling. In a sports league where upwards of 70% of the players are African American, the NFL's paucity of black head coaches, general managers, presidents of football operations, and team owners speaks to a staggering lack of representation in the league's power structures. Despite black athletic genius producing billions of dollars in revenue for owners, advertisers, television and cable companies, and assorted supply chains, the NFL has been largely, to say the least, retrograde on matters of racial justice. Colin Kaepernick's banishment from the sport for taking a knee in respectful protest against police brutality against African Americans exemplified the unequal power relations between the league's overwhelmingly white owners and the black players who fill up the box office. It took arguably the largest social justice movement in American history, alongside a demand from some of the NFL's biggest black superstars, to compel Commissioner Roger Goodell to assert that Black Lives Matter and take some measured steps to support racial justice, including allowing athletes to speak their mind in a manner that Kaepernick was punished for. The league has finally made a public effort to acknowledge the problem, but as I've written, those gestures don't come close to guaranteeing lasting change. Yet even as Kaepernick faced umbrage from the league for speaking out against injustice, NFL owners, most notably Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, vociferously supported former President Donald Trump in spite of his consistent denigration, race-baiting, and prejudiced comments against the black community. All of which is to say that Gruden's words in faith place the NFL at a familiar crossroads. This is not a call to cancel Gruden. But at a deeper level, it is past time for the NFL to take bolder steps, commensurate with the systemic problem of racism that continues to affect the league. This warrants major overhaul of the league's front office hiring practices, along with greater public transparency and accountability measures regarding inclusivity efforts for the vendors, affiliates, and supply chains that form part of the massive financial ecosystem of this billion-dollar enterprise. Gruden's words are more than just offensive, and their broader importance doesn't recede with his resignation. Despite it, they represent a reminder of how little progress has been made since they were written in 2011 regarding the place of black bodies in an environment ruled by powerful white interests. Without institutionalizing a framework to ensure a pathway for potential black talent into the league's institutions of power, this unequal racial status quo will continue.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.